Well, well, well. Fernando Mendoza, the Moon Doza, the Fernastronaut, looks to have cemented himself into the 1.1 overall selection by the Las Vegas Raiders on NFL Draft Day in late April, when they decide to change their fate, rebuild their franchise, scrape the foundation, and lay new cement. And that cement you're looking at right here is this kid, Fernando, the Fernastronaut, Mendoza. Guy has heart. Didn't have the best stat line if you're box score bobbying the box score tonight, but heart, grit, determination, unbelievable touchdown run on fourth down where this team could have kicked a field goal. They decided to run the ball on a quarterback sneak, and this Fernando Mendoza literally boarded a space shuttle, ran right up the gut, hit 3-4 defenders, spun around, kept going, and dove into the end zone and marked his territory on the number 1.1 overall draft selection. Like a dog, pissed on it, made it his, marked his territory, said, I'm the 1.1. Tom Brady on the field watching it all. Remarkable. The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition, the Mendoza Edition. The Las Vegas Raiders have got their quarterback edition begins right now.
You're watching a
Graveyard Stream.
That show begins now.
live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever the news breaks.
Dropping loads in outer space.
Mendoza.
Space Monsters.
The Fernastronaut, you'll hear it other places. People will steal it, of course. You'll start hearing Fernastronaut. That one's going to be one. No one's saying that. You'll hear it. You let them know where they stole it. Guys, this is a remarkable kid. Very good character. Loves football. Is obsessed with football on the Tom Brady level. Obsessed with the X's and O's. Obsessed with teammates and camaraderie. And fighting for his guys. Like, those are all the things Tom Brady wants in his signal caller, which he is very much a part of selecting and guiding the ship in LV this time around. Unlike the last go around, Pete Carroll brings in Geno. Tom Brady's just there watching and saying, this is what I do here if you need a little help. And now Tom Brady's pulling strings because they need him to. And we're my cousin is the GOAT. Is that your cousin, Mendoza? Appreciate you all in here. And we'll open the phone lines here in a second. Just want to say this box score doesn't do it justice. The night that Mendoza and the Indiana Hoosiers had 16-0, undefeated, untarnished, untainted season that they dropped against a very tough Miami Hurricanes that played ball, that came to play ball. Fletcher was really, really good on the ground. He's kind of making a name for himself tonight. 17 totes, 112, and 2 touchdowns. Tony was fantastic as a receiver for this Miami Hurricanes team. 10 receptions, 122 and a touch. Looked elusive, looked electric. Kind of like this kid. We didn't see Surratt do what we expected Surratt to do. I don't know how he'll translate at the next level. I'm not a huge Surratt guy. I don't think he's bad. Cooper stepped up 5 for 71. Black was pretty solid on the ground in spots. It really just came down to this Hoosiers team playing smart football when it mattered most, and then putting their cojones on the table and playing with guts in the final moments when decisions needed to be made and the big boys needed to step up. And when Mendoza on fourth down had to try and not just get a first down, but saw his objective turn into the end zone, and the determination of him hitting 2-3 guys, spinning around and kind of like landing as if, oh my God, like I should have. It was like one of those hits where he hits and you see the guy like spin around the air. He like gets knocked off balance, doesn't even realize he's still on his feet practically, and keeps marching forward and dives for the end zone, gets smashed in the end zone, got just beaten to a bloody pulp literally all night long. and just showing grit and determination. And a lot of people are going to say things like, oh, he was okay. He's not going to be that good. I think he's going to bust. And, some of that comes from you put receipts out there already on the kid saying you don't think he'll be that good. And you're just going to double down. And that you got to stop doing that. If you believe that maybe your mind was changed tonight, then change your mind tonight. Don't worry about what you've said in the past. Adjust and adapt. I did it with Shuck. I thought Shuck was going to be not very good quarterback in the National Football League. I'm starting to really like the kid. Things happen. Sometimes you need to see something. Just because you don't love somebody from Jump Street doesn't mean you're late to the party. So I urge all of you not to judge this kid too harshly if you would come in with preconceived notions about him not being an NFL caliber quarterback. Remember where he's going, and you might say, yeah, that's the problem. The Raiders are rebuilding everything. He's got Brock Bowers to throw the football to. He's got Ashton Genty to run the damn ball. He's got a Tom Brady situational environment that he's getting molded and sculpted and crafted in. You don't think he's going to have Tom Brady on speed dial? You don't think he's going to be talking to Tom Brady at night? You don't think these guys won't be working through the film and talking ball and talking shop all the time? Tom Brady's going to guide this kid, mold him, sculpt him. And with the determination, the grit, the hunger, the X's and O's, the smarts, the between the ears, how amazing he is in those aspects. Tom Brady's sitting here going, this is my protege. This is the best candidate to become what I became because it's mostly up here as a quarterback. Tom Brady was not the most athletic quarterback. Tom Brady was the smartest quarterback. And if anybody can learn things, it's this kid, because he's already doing things that other people don't do. The intangibles inside the mind. Love the situation in LV. There couldn't be a better spot. I wouldn't handpick a different spot for Mendoza. This is the most ideal spot for him to go to, the LV situation. Let's break it all down. The phone lines are open. Dial in. BBQ, if you're out there, I don't know if BBQ's in the building. He dropped 20 gifted memberships, and I didn't see it in time before he left. So hats off to BBQ and also to Mendoza.
Let him cook.
Mendoza. I love this kid. If you didn't know, he's been a moon man.
The moon man.
Been a moon man since
dropping loads in
January 9.
Space.
Roughly 10 days ago, just so anybody doesn't think we added him tonight. Excited about Mendoza. We'll go down as the first moon man added. And some of that is going to be a little geared toward like some dynasty. I'm not saying he'll be top 7 or 10 his rookie year. Not saying he won't be. We could certainly, guide our guidance that way if we start feeling the progression happening faster than we expect. But for an astronaut, Mendoza is probably here to stay. Anybody can bust. We saw CJ Stroud go from having rockets and excitement even on this channel coming off a rookie year. Everyone thought he was the best thing ever. And Stroud fell apart. Now he's trash. Anybody can crumble. But I will say that this guy has the mentality needed. And very, very few players that are, I think, as dialed in as he is intellectually to the game. Going to a place where Tom Brady is going to help sculpt him. I just can't imagine failure. I just can't. I think he's going to become something special. How special, I don't know. And for everybody that's going to say things, and I see some of the comments already like they need the block for him. We know that. We're not morons. Does anybody think that the Raiders are not going to try and improve that part of that situation? Not to mention the quick release, the intelligence, the pocket awareness, the mobility, all of that improves the offensive line tremendously from the jump. But when people say things like, well, they got to fix it, like, we know. Or the Raiders offensive line was so bad last year, this guy's cooked. Like, do you really think it's not going to change? Didn't you just watch the Bears go from what was thought to be one of the worst offensive lines in the league to one of the better ones in one offseason? Does anybody think that you can't A, coach it up, B, have a quarterback stretch the defense to improve it? Just that alone is a big improvement to working the entire offseason and draft to improve the offensive line and change it entirely. Not to mention there are a couple good building blocks on the line. It's just that the entire thing as a sum total, coached up, bad coaching, extremely bad coaching. But, when you've got to replace, 60% of it, it's gonna function much better. So wild when people think that is not part of the equation. Well, yeah, they draft Mendoza, but then they can't address the offensive line as if there aren't other picks and literally an entire free agency where you can rebuild an offensive line. The Bears did it all through free agency. The Bears revamped their offensive line heading into the NFL draft, so they had the freedom to take Loveland and make moves that Ben made. So, dial in and discuss Mendoza, dial in and discuss the Raiders, dial in and discuss Brock Bowers, who is a Jupiter man.
The Jupiter men.
Genty,
Jupiter is so
a
large,
Jupiter man.
Every planet in the solar system could fit inside it.
We got
There
3
are no
Raiders.
bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
We got 3 Raiders on the bold board. Bowers, Genty,
The Saturn Men.
no Saturn man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Brees Hall is a Mars man.
The Moon Man.
Future Raider
Dropping loads
Mendoza
in outer
is a Moon
space.
man. So we have 3 Raiders.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so...
And before anybody says, "Oh my man, you Raiders," this was funny too when we had Joe Burrow and Chase on the bold prediction board. 2 Bengals. This was funny when we had Gibbs and St. Brown and Laporta. At the time, Laporta was really good, by the way. 3 Detroit Lions on the bold predictions board. Oh, the Lions are the Lions. The Bengals are the Bengals, Smitty. The Lions are the Lions. These are bad teams. These are historically bad teams. It didn't take long for people to forget they said that. It didn't take long for people to jump back on the train very quickly, and here you are. Mendoza. Where art thou, Mendoza? Very impressive season by Indiana. And a lot of people talking about whether, this is gonna, this organization in LV can capture this kid's momentum and turn it around, or is he just college good? I can't wait to see it unfold. And again, there's no guarantees, ladies and gentlemen. There's no guarantees at all. Miami played real well in this game. This is interesting. I mean, I love the college playoffs. I'll tell you that. They took too long for them to get to the point that they're at right now. I love watching this stuff, and it's so exciting. It reminds me of the NCAA bracket is coming up too, and just a great time of year. January is amazing for getting playoff football, NFL playoff football, preparing for national championship game in late January. Then you start getting into free agency talk and March Madness at the same time. Then April's the NFL draft. And then we kind of have a lull from June, July, and August, right into August. So June, July, some good, contract stuff and news, but that is kind of maybe that gap in between that leaves a lot to be desired. But then we're drafting like crazy in that time frame, which is fantastic and fun. So, all right. I don't know if my phone lines are broken. Let me restart them and somebody test them out. Give me a second. Let me restart them. Let me see if Denny's left a message anytime soon. Here's a message by Denny.
You dropped the bomb on me, Smitty. You dropped the bomb on me. You dropped the bomb on me, Smitty. You dropped the bomb on me. No, you know I'm right, Smitty. Smitty McGee, you know I'm right. Smitty, you dropped the bomb on me. Turn me up, baby. Oh, it's the best thing I ever said. Oh,
I think he just fell asleep right at the end there.
it's the best thing I ever said. Oh.
The best thing I've ever said. Then he goes right to sleep. Denny. Where's Denny? Denny, if you're out there calling, he tries calling. He doesn't watch the show. I don't think anybody understands. Denny doesn't watch the show. A buddy gave him the phone line and said, this guy takes phone calls. Denny, I think, wanted a friend that day. He called into the show live. He doesn't watch it. He calls in when the show's not live. He just takes a stab at it, hopes that we're live, and then says I ignore him. But I don't know where he is. Simi Valley dropping a $5 hauler. That run by Mendoza, if you haven't watched it, go watch it on my Instagram. Remarkable run. It's on my IG, The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram. Go check it out. It's one of the better touchdown runs we've seen in college football. Playoffs or really any big game in college football. It's a fantastic run. Simi Valley, appreciate that $5 hauler. I don't know if you had a question that you want to talk about. Draft Mendoza or my father will rise from the dead, he says, John. John, I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. Appreciate that, Johnny boy. Indiana is losing tons of guys. Maybe so. But looks like a good organization that's now going to draw a lot of good recruits. That's the way that works, bro. I mean, think about it from college football. Cinderella teams that pop out of nowhere all of a sudden become relevant from that moment on. You know, nobody knows about this school. They go to the NCAA tournament, go to the Sweet 16, and all of a sudden they're getting recruits left and right, and then now they're always on the map from that moment on. They make a name for themselves. People want to go play basketball for those teams. Same thing here. Like Indiana is going to bring in plenty of recruits now. Playing for the 16-0 Indiana Hoosiers is an attractive thing for 2027, 2028, 2029. Big spotlight. Now people are looking to this team. Televised games, like all that stuff, bro. It's a story. It's a Cinderella story. So they'll be fine. Harbaugh to Vegas. What do you mean Harbaugh to Vegas? Bro, Harbaugh's in New York. Vincent, are you not following along with everything? You're like a week behind, bro. Harbaugh to Vegas. What's he doing back there? Bro, Harbaugh's in New York. He's already in New York. He's already in his office in New York, my guy. What are we doing, bro? Is Ward a bust, or do you think he turns it around? I don't know that I'd call him a bust necessarily, but is he going to kind of like go the Stroud way eventually? If he doesn't get the proper support, yes, he will turn into CJ Stroud. If he gets the proper support, I think he could kind of build off of some momentum I think that he had, but this is an inept organization, the Tennessee Titans. I know how to fix it. They don't. As arrogant as you think that sounds, it's true. The Tennessee Titans are on the hunt for Matt Nagy as their head coach. Matt Nagy. They want Nagy as their head coach. He's the lead candidate according to reports. So, unfortunate. My bad, I didn't realize he got hired that quick. Bro, this is like, yeah, you probably took some time off. It's okay. It's why you watch the show, but at least watch the first 10 minutes of my 8 p.m. show every day so you get all the news. This is like long gone. And like we talked about this for weeks as it built and then came to fruition. And yeah, I mean, Harbaugh, like there was on and off the contract negotiation. He wanted to get Joe Scheinbach Shane out of the equation, or at least circumvent his authority, which he did, and he got it built into the contract. But Vincent, it's okay. Not everybody's on top of it 365. Some people need to take a little bit of a break. But it is wild to come into my live stream and, it's like just seeing that you want a coach that we've been talking about for weeks. It's like walking into the kitchen when your mom's got the meatloaf ready. You smell it, the oven beeps. She pulls it out in front of you, sets it on the counter in front of you, and you go, "Should we get some food tonight? Should we order out for some McDonald's, or what do you say, Ma?" Like, here I am slaving over the news like meatloaf, preparing you, giving you the Harbaugh news day in and day out, and you walk into the kitchen when I slap the rack of meatloaf on the counter right in front of you, and you're just busy looking at your phone, not even looking at my show on your phone. You're just looking at your phone, and you have no idea Harbaugh's signed. That meatloaf has been sitting on that rack, on that counter, on those warmers, protecting that countertop the right way for weeks. All right. I don't know if my phone lines are gonna work tonight, guys. I'm sorry. If anybody wants to try them, I restarted them. Your 8 p.m. show was during the national championship. Doesn't matter. Marshall, not to mention, Marshall, like, this news is all week long. We've covered it. It didn't have to be tonight. And a lot of people watch the show at the 8 p.m. hour with the game on at the same time, my boy. If Bieniemy returns to KC, will they return to glory? Bieniemy has returned to KC. What in the hell are you guys watching? Where's the Bieniemy news? Hold on. I can pull it up. Oh, here somewhere. Bieniemy is such a waste of space. I love how it's cute, though, how you think Bieniemy going back to KC is the, like, secret sauce. It puts them back. Like, this guy gets coffee, right? Bro, where have you been? Why are C-Dub and Vincent so out of it they don't know what in the hell's going on? C-Dub, Bieniemy was already hired. I covered this at 8 p.m. So the answer is yes, he's back. And are you returning to glory? Not because of Bieniemy. He gets a mean cup of coffee, bro. But that's about it. Now, if a mean cup of coffee is what is required for Reed to be in his bag, maybe this is a good thing. But Bieniemy, I hate to break it to you, doesn't really do much. It's okay, C-Dub. You and Vincent have, taking a hiatus, but you're back. That's what's important. You're here tonight. You're here tonight to get caught up on the news. But go watch the 8 p.m. show the past, couple nights to get all your news updates. I don't know what else to cover tonight. There's not really much to go over with this situation other than what we've said for literally weeks, that Mendoza's probably him. No guarantee. The Raiders are that landing spot that he needs. Brock Bowers is him. Genty is him. Tom Brady's going to guide the ship. This whole situation is turning around quickly, and I'm damn excited to be a part of delivering the predictions and situation to you, even though some of you aren't watching or paying attention, but that's okay. Titans going to get Robert Saleh. That's a mistake. Titans going to get Robert Saleh. Well, it's possible, but it seems like the Cardinals are... Titans looks like that is breaking right now. Yeah, good one. Titans looking, thank God for the Titans to not go in the direction of Nagy, but Robert Saleh is really not that much better. I like Saleh, but he's not. Let me put this news on screen since it just broke. It's breaking right as we speak. Robert Saleh has been hired as the new head coach in Tennessee. This is a stupid move on his part. This is just moronic. I don't know. Number one, he's a defensive guy. He could decide to go offense with this early first round draft selection potentially, which honestly is needed. But yeah, Robert Saleh. Titans are hiring San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh to be their new head coach. A source tells The Athletic and Diana Rossini. Truly better than Nagy for sure. But this guy goes to a place where there really aren't enough weapons, and it's going to be a tough road, a tough climb. this doesn't feel much more secure than the New York situation. He'd have been far better off in Arizona, not that I necessarily wanted him. And if we get Nagy, somehow I'll literally flip a gasket. But this is an interesting situation for sure. Definitely better for Tennessee. Tennessee must have watched the 8 p.m. show when I chastised them for even considering Nagy. And the report earlier today was that Nagy was the lead candidate. And, good for them to switch their tune and go with Saleh. But Saleh is not picking a good spot, a secure spot, a place with a lot of talent. The only thing that could maybe change my mind a little bit, and I would say a little bit, not an extreme amount, but a little bit, is with this number 4 overall pick, do they end up drafting one of those elite wide receivers? And I'm not saying I want it necessarily, but Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson. Now, if Mekhi Lemon goes there, I think Lemon definitely has a struggle bus rookie season and doesn't become what everybody expects him to become. Not that he couldn't be good, but I don't think he becomes nearly as good as these two. I just hope that Tennessee goes defense because Saleh is a defensive guy, or they take Lemon and leave Tyson and Tate for. And I don't really want the Giants to take Carnell Tate. It seems like it could be a likely scenario. And that's not something I want for Neighbors. It wouldn't necessarily put a nail in the coffin of Neighbors, but it would definitely limit Carnell Tate in the way that Jordan Addison's very limited with JJ, on roster. Not that I think Tate could be way better than Addison is, but I'm just saying that kind of, limitation. Or T. Higgins with Jamar Chase. That's just bad. If Tate lands in New York, it's bad for both Neighbors a little bit. Neighbors will survive, but Neighbors and Tate. But good for Dart, good for the Giants, really good for the Giants as a football team. Cleveland is also kind of a risky landing spot for one of these wide receivers. I guess you could say, honestly, maybe Tennessee's better than the Giants and Cleveland in that at least he'll be the focal point of the catching footballs from a young and kind of exciting Cam Ward that has upside, but upside that could get demolished if he doesn't get the right support, which the wide receiver would be a step in that direction. Honestly, maybe Tennessee's better than Cleveland. I think Washington would be phenomenal for one of the wide receivers. I think KC would be phenomenal for one of the wide receivers because there's a chance that Rashee Rice maybe never plays again. Maybe he misses the entire season. Maybe something else happens. Who knows? Yeah. So anyway, DJ, you're on the phone live. What can I do for you?
Best show on the planet, Smitty. I'm real quick, start with like Mendoza. I think I was one of those guys in terms of like, can he play off the spot? Because Miami's edges and Miami's defense, they have some Sunday players, and he could do that. I knew about between the ears and all of that. It was just him being uncomfortable because he's going to face that. I think he had a good point in terms of athletic ability, which he's shown that hard. So, that kind of like flipped me. Not that my opinion really matters, but just to say that, yeah, it was like, man, because earlier on, I just didn't see him moving off the spot and, making that play. Raiders, grab him. Offensive line, definitely, which was my concern. But yeah, he can play a movement off the spot. He has athletic ability. That's print out. And if you give him time, yeah, he's with that Brady philosophy. Yeah, man, he'll be all right. I don't know where I would take him in terms of fantasy, because that was also my thought. There were a few players I would have before him. So, 12, 15.
Well, we'll see where his fantasy is. A little early to suggest where he's going to go fantasy-wise. No one should be starting a rookie quarterback with all the options you have. But what he does for unlocking Bowers or keeping Bowers and Genty in elite status with elite volume is more of the kicker, for fantasy. Like him being there as foundation for Genty and Bowers is more important than being there for fantasy football production. For Superflex would be different. You could definitely start him. And not saying he doesn't have a Herbert-esque rookie year or maybe a JD5 rookie year or something like that. He certainly could, but I don't think you draft him into fantasy expecting that at all during his rookie season. It is more so about Genty, Bowers, the surrounding cast, and can he be elusive enough and to keep a defense, honest, and also just be accurate enough and be able to handle volume, producing volume so that the Bowers and whatever receiver they bring in can eat. But I like him a lot. I think the thing we got to keep in mind when we talk about college players, though, again, is like they're not capped at what they did in college. Like Tom Brady's the perfect example of that. 2,400, 2,500 yards is all he threw in college. So I think his biggest season was 2,500 yards. So that's crazy. Tom Brady was just mediocre statistically in college. Whereas this guy threw 41 touchdowns. He only had 6 INTs, which is also a pretty remarkable ratio. His yardage totals were fantastic. 3,349. I'll put his passing stats on screen right here. He was first in QBR. He was first in touchdowns. He was 20th in yardage. I mean, that's a damn fine season. That's not Tom Brady's college year. Best year where he was nowhere near number one in those categories. And then rushing the football, let me pull up his stats here and give you his rushing lines. His rushing stats for 2025, 284 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns is pretty damn impressive. So I like Mendoza across the board. Definitely comes to the table with the ability to produce as a rookie and not just be a bland system quarterback. I mean, these are some impressive stats. Again, first in touchdowns, first in QBR. Very good combination. 27th in interceptions. And I wonder what the qualifier is for that, because 6 to tie for 27th is kind of wild. You'd think it'd be higher than that for 6 INTs, but there probably is a qualifier for that INTs that should be higher. Like, how many games, how many snaps, or how many games played is that? That's crazy to be 27th with 6 INTs. The differential is really the thing he would rank like first in. 41 and 6, I guarantee you that's number one. Touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, look, his QBR is right there, 90.2. Okay. Last final thoughts. Anything else regarding the situation?
I think to your point, I said in the chat that even Mendoza lifted his wide receiver and skill players draft stock. So, the idea of it, at very least, trying to be able to sustain, the offense and be able to run, the offense. And, the numbers are awesome, which is encouraging. But, watching, you could see him, the spread out, making the play up in the center. Those things are like, okay, he has that. Last thing, Salah, I don't know, man. In Tennessee, from the fantasy standpoint, from a football standpoint, defense. But if I was going to do defense, I probably would have went to Cleveland. Because I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback in Cleveland. I'm thinking they're going to roll out Shador at least next year and maybe beyond. So he has ready-made defense, I think, in Tennessee. And with the transitioning that's happening between, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. Just my opinion there. And I guess that's, that's it, man.
All right. Thank you, DJ. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Later.
Oh, boy. Interesting. Salah to Tennessee is wild. It's so much better than Nagy, though. So much better. Tennessee was, they went from a complete avoid, like you better not draft a single Tennessee tight next year, to maybe if they take Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Love, we're a little bit more intrigued by it, I suppose, because that extra player is going to make the situation better. And at least Salah, I know Salah's got the locker room, He may have lost some of it in New York, but that was Aaron Rodgers and infected, and New York is always a mess. Salah's got the whole, defense in San Francisco just loving this guy. He's excited. He's animated on the sideline. He loves his team. He'll literally, give you the shirt off his back. He'll put it all on the line for his team. So I would give that to Salah. I do think Salah is a really good motivator of men. And it's a much better decision than Nagy. But Tennessee to even consider Nagy shows some incompetence for sure as an organization. To even be considering Nagy as a head coach is incompetent. But we'll see. I just think Salah could have picked a better spot. I don't know if those spots were necessarily available to him, but he was getting a handful of head coaching interviews. I mean, Arizona would probably be smarter, I would say. But, he probably picked Tennessee. He's going to go the defensive, I think, route. And I don't know. Like, I'm kind of back and forth on whether it's a blessing in disguise that they take one of the wide receivers versus New York or Cleveland. Cleveland grabbing Tate or Tyson could be good if, let's say, Shador was able to cook and get better and they actually built around him. Or Watson comes in, and Watson might start week 1 and surprises everybody. I don't know. But don't think on the surface level, I don't think I'm going to love Cleveland or the Giants as landing spots for these two elite potential wide receivers. So maybe Tennessee is the best option if we're trying to pick the lesser of two evils and get screwed out of Washington or KC even seeing one of these guys fall there. Because it's possible Tennessee and New York and Cleveland all want to grab one of those wide receivers. Maybe not, but there's a chance. Yeah. I think Tennessee is better than Cleveland. So maybe we're that's going to be a nerve-wracking NFL draft. I think I'm going to be part excited for this NFL draft and part let down based on landing spots. Man, landing spots can crush the vibe. They can crush the momentum of a player's trajectory in the NFL and stunt their growth and hold them back. And Tennessee might be better than Cleveland. Washington would be great, though. I hope one of them falls to Washington. I'd love to see Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate in Washington. Whichever one lands in Washington or KC, or if they both land in both spots, then we have a tie on our hands. But, yeah, hopefully Cleveland goes offensive line, defense, something like that. All right, guys, any final phone calls before we do jump out of here? We have 148 in the building. Please hit that thumb up button on the way in or out, whichever you're doing right now. I'll take some phone calls if you guys have some questions before we jump. Sometimes we say we're out of here and then we're here for another hour. So I wouldn't leave yet in case we stay for another hour or two. But I'm definitely here to answer some phone calls if you have a few questions. I don't know if we'll go Dynasty tonight. I think we're going to take I'm going to probably work on a video to upload tomorrow on Dynasty, but we'll probably take a break on the Dynasty channel tonight anyway. But man, Mendoza, excited about it. I could go live on Mendoza on Dynasty, but I think we'll just take a break tonight. I think I can get some The Fantasy Football Show work done on the back end of the content site. Make sure you're checking out thefantasyfootballshow.com. All the rookies are injected into the rankings. I'll probably tweak Mendoza slightly, but not much because I'm already pretty high on him. So link in the description of the video, but thefantasyfootballshow.com is going to get some tender loving care tonight with the extra time I'll have by not going live and doing Dynasty. So, final thoughts? Anybody have anything in the comments before we jump on out of here? Let's see here. We got, do you live stream? Found one, Smitty. Do you live stream? JP wants to know, do I live stream? I don't know. Did you just find us? Is that what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying. Do I live stream? I mean, I'm live right now. But yes, I stream more than anybody you've ever met in your life. Cleveland is an offense porta potty, says Coach. Cleveland needs a guard tackle. Yeah, that's kind of the hope, right? Who says Mendoza isn't the next Jamarcus Russell? Nobody. Because we don't know. Could be the next Zach Wilson. Or he could be the next, elite quarterback. Hard to say. He's got a funny demeanor. That's for sure. He's kind of a goofy kid, but I mean he's a real nice guy. I don't know. He loves football, man. That's the part that gets me. He loves football. We'll see, but he is definitely a goofy kid for sure. Round 1 NFL draft, Smitty. Will you stream it? Why are you speaking clear sentences, bro? Are you did you just take that photo in the state that you're in right now? Because I feel like you're like sitting there with one arm trying to type it. Yes, if you would ask that a little more, less fragmented. Of course, I'll be live during the NFL draft. What do I look like, an a-hole? I'll be live during the entire first round. Probably be live during day 2 as well, but for sure live the entire first round. Rock out, thank you. What's the equivalent of Chardonnay? You mean Charbonnet? To Seattle to the point we crash. Oh, I see what you're saying. What is the equivalent to me wanting to end the live stream based on landing spot? That's what he's trying to say. Because when Charbonnet got drafted to the Seattle Seahawks, I think I ended the live stream. I was so bent out of shape over it. I would say I probably wouldn't end the live stream over it, but because we still got other options. But I would say Cleveland getting Tyson or Tate's going to be pretty disappointing. Jeremiah Love going to Tennessee, kind of disappointing. Tyson and Tate going to Tennessee and New York would be kind of disappointing. So Tennessee, Giants, Cleveland, although Tennessee's not the end of the world, Giants isn't the end of the world, but it certainly caps Tate or Tyson for sure. And then Cleveland's the end of the world. So, but because we still got Jeremiah Love, because we still got one of these guys probably landing, and Mekhi Lemon's climbing, maybe he goes, to the Cleveland Browns. But Washington, the Saints, and KC, if let's say all these guys passed on Jeremiah Love, and he goes to, I don't know, Miami, where he's playing with Achane, like that would make me want to end the live stream. I guess that would be the equivalent. Achane sees Jeremiah Love get drafted onto the roster. That would be devastating. Devastating, bro. All right, guys. Since no one's calling in, I'm out of here for now. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, live whenever big news breaks, and live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. And we go live on the Dynasty channel or do a video upload at least once per day. So subscribe to the Dynasty channel, link in description. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, hype the video if you can, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. And I appreciate all my rumblers. Oh, let me see if we have any rumble rants sitting over there. I do see golf over there. Hagen, appreciate you. Appreciate everybody here. Miami had 140 to have a chance to win the game with one drive and blew it and threw an INT. Says golf. Smitty, I'm back, ready to go. Says Hag, appreciate you, Hag. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.